passion. They saw how devastated I was after that week. Although I had always been small, for the first time ever, I felt weak and powerless. They decided that the only way to turn this football disaster around was to help me empower myself. Within a week, the weight set appeared in our living room. For a week, I did nothing but sit on the bench press and watch the television, which was the only other thing left in the room. My daily pattern was to come home from school, drop my backpack on the floor, and sit down in front of the TV. When not watching TV, I spent the rest of my days moping around, uninspired to try anything new, especially working out. Even if I had been inspired, I really had no idea what to do with this huge contraption. It came with instructions, but at that point, I wasn't interested in bridging the gap between seeing and doing. One day, out of sheer boredom and a fleeting flash of curiosity, I sat down on the bench, lay down under the bar, and went through the motions of a bench press with just the bar, no weights. It felt heavy, but I did it. I wondered if I could do more by loading on some plates. I put the weights on the bar, brought it down to my chest, and pushed it back up. I remembered thinking, I'm stronger than I thought I was. For the first time since I'd been so destroyed on the football field, I felt good about myself because of what I could accomplish physically. I felt strong again. That was the beginning. I realized that even though I was small, I could gain an edge if I was stronger and better developed. So I lifted and lifted and lifted. As the weeks went by, I was rapidly able to handle increasingly heavier weights. Seeing a tenfold increase in performance over the course of just a month made it easy for me to get hooked. I began to see a change in the size of my muscles as well, and developed an identity among my peers as the smallest but the strongest. As much as I loved football, I became even more fascinated with how the human body can change. I became obsessed with pursuing my maximum potential. From my sophomore year on, I could always be found in the gym, either training myself or coaching somebody else. I read all the bodybuilding magazines in a constant quest for bigger arms, a bigger chest, a higher vertical jump, and a faster 40-yard dash. After high school, I took my passion to Phoenix and enrolled in Arizona State University, which is ranked number 2 in the nation for what was then called exercise science and is now known as kinesiology. I took pre-med courses with a concentration on biomechanics and physiology, feeding my fascination with the awesome physiological mechanisms behind exercise science. But I didn't see a long-term career for myself in exercise science. Since the age of 16, I had been taking flying lessons, and by 17, I had my private pilot's license. I subsequently got my instrument and commercial ratings and became a multi-engine flight instructor. I thought my best option for having a well-paying career was to follow my dad's footsteps into the world of commercial flying. Plus, I idolized my dad and thought it was the coolest thing in the world that he was a pilot. I accrued over 1,200 hours flying time, which took almost 7 years, but I was always uneasy flying. It never felt natural. I was always scared. It seemed like every time I flew, something went horribly wrong. Electrical failures, engine problems, ruptured hydraulic lines, communication glitches, generator alternator snafus, and the like. I mean, I got pretty good at handling emergencies, but I had to force myself to fly each and every day. A flying career just felt like the wrong path. Though my true path could not have been clearer, I continued to ignore it. My first airline job interview was set for the morning of September 13th, 2001, just 2 days after the tragic events of 9/11. Not surprisingly, the interview didn't happen. Instead, my life took a 180-degree turn. If the 9/11 terrorist attacks hadn't happened, I would likely be an airline pilot right now. I would have remained on a path that wasn't for me. That awful event changed everything. Within days, I got a job at a local gym and started as a personal trainer. It was like a 1,000-pound weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I was alive. I was happy doing what I loved to do. Soon my skills were very much in demand and I was fully booked as a trainer. I stopped flying altogether and began working on extra training certifications. Once I discovered the path that I was meant to be on, my future unfolded in front of me. More and more opportunities appeared. It was awesome. Within 3 short months, a business partner and I bought the personal training rights at a big gym next to Arizona State University. I hired a dream team of experienced and